Welcome back to Terran Tales HFY. Previously, our characters faced danger and discovered new alliances, but there's much more ahead. In Part 2, expect more twists, revelations, and heart-pounding moments as the story continues. If you're new here, be sure to check out Part 1 first. Ready to dive back into the action? Let's continue the adventure with Part 2. Now rebuilt, aglow with fires and laughter, it is transformed. Unity forged in peril, but now held together by nascent hope. Liam stands at the center, the amulet a beacon under alien stars. The Denarians remain wary, knowing the Harvester's ships are near, but where once was only resignation, now corrals a will, not just to survive, but to claim their future. And wherever humanity goes, we bring not just war, but the will to fight for more. Night falls heavy and slow over the Denarian camp, but it is not peace that descends. The velvet dark is tense, trembling with anticipation, and every shadow seems charged with threat. Twin moons glare through shifting clouds, silvering the dunes with a ghostly sheen as crimson campfires gutter against the vast emptiness. Denarian guards pace atop makeshift barricades, armor catching stray firelight, while survivors whisper quietly behind canvas and stone, knowing the Harvesters will not wait for daylight. Liam Hart is restless, his armor half donned, the Denarian amulet pressed against his chest as he checks the perimeter with Princess Shara. The defenses are humble at best, barricades repurposed from ruined stones and scraps of Terran technology, woven with Denarian vines pulsing with faintly bioluminescent glyphs. Around the inner circle, children sleep huddled beneath blankets, mothers keep vigil with hollow eyes, and the warriors prepare. Bows strung, blades sharpened, crude energy traps set into the sand. A distant, discordant howl cracks the wind. All stand still. The threat is no longer myth, but presence. Shara's gaze is fierce as she gives silent, final signals. Her people muster, forming a living circle of resolve just inside the defensive ring. Movement at the horizon catches every eye, flickering angular lights like the eyes of a storm, inching closer beyond the skeletal ruins. The warriors' breaths are shallow and synchronized, hearts thumping in time with the tremors of approaching doom. 3/4 into the scene, silence is shattered as the Harvesters finally emerge, towering and inhuman, exoskeletons glinting with oily reflections and predatory grace. A scout bursts from cover, triggering a Denarian alert. Suddenly, the entire camp is ablaze with action. Traps flare, launching blue arcs of energy, nets whirring through the night. Shara and Liam command side by side, her voice rallying her kin, his orders crisp and urgent through cracked comms. In the chaos of those first moments, hope and dread tangle. The alien night pulses with the clash of technology and tradition, of voices raised not in despair but in defiant unity. As sand and electric fire rain down beneath alien moons, the siege begins, not just for survival, but for the possibility of freedom. The battle along the camp's edge rumbles like a coming storm, each minute feeling stretched to the breaking point. Under the pale scrutiny of twin moons and the ragged pulse of burning barricades, the Denarian defenders and Terran outsider find their lines buckling beneath the Harvester's unyielding assault. The air is thick with the coppery tang of blood and burned circuitry. Arrows whistle past streaks of blue Terran energy fire, and every impact sends up sand and shattered stone. Liam charges down the trench, adrenaline pounding, his cracked visor fogged and streaked with grime. His arm aches from a fresh wound, but he bites back pain, vaulting a pile of debris to reach the nearest squad. Everyone is running out of ammunition and time. Denarian warriors hurl spears tipped with scavenged Harvester blades. Teenage scouts scramble to ferry bandages and spare parts through the lines. Elders chant ancient battle phrases, voices mingling with the mechanical screech of Harvester engines as thunder rolls across the killing field. Explosions strobe the scene with burning clarity. Shara, luminous with battle energy, ducks below a sweeps of razor limbs, rallying her defenders. "Hold the breach!" she shouts over the clash, her spear crackling blue in the gloom. The smallest children cower by the rear barricade, tucked behind armored backs. In the chaos, alliances matter most. Denarians and human, working side by side, refusing to yield an inch. 3/4 into the scene, disaster strikes. A monstrous harvester, twice as tall as any warrior, rips through the northwest flank, flinging aside stone and tech with a single blow. Its scythe-tipped arms carve deep furrows in the sand. Liam spies a young Denarian, paralyzed by fear as debris rains down. Without hesitation, Liam bolts forward, snatching the child back, just as the monster's limb slams mere inches away. The two tumble behind a barricade as friendly warriors surge to plug the breach. Sparks fly, energy. The ground is a furnace of battle smoke, scorched sand, and the tang of fear as the Denarian camp grinders beneath the insistent assault. It is the hour when hope flickers and desperation sharpens every motion. Denarian warriors, bloodied and weary, pull together in tight formations around the battered heart of the encampment. Shara, spear electrified, issues crisp orders, eyes alive with a cold flame. The wounded are pulled back as a fresh wave of harvesters, gleaming with oil, spattered with fire, pushes into the breach, their forms stabbing the gloom with midnight-slick limbs and burning red optics. Liam, limping and battered, rallies a mixed squad near the perimeter, scouring the broken field for discarded technology. Sparks spit from a cracked pulse rifle he cradles to his chest. The sky overhead roils with gunmetal clouds, flashes of far-off lightning illuminating the chaos with apocalyptic grandeur. A Denarian youth, barely taller than a blade, dashes up, clutching fragments of a harvester power cell, and Liam's mind works in sudden inspiration. "Here, give me that," he shouts, tearing wires free from his armor and cobbling together a makeshift bomb. He scrambles to a fallen barricade, calling to Shara. "Now!" Their eyes meet. Trust, mutual and hard-forged. As Shara and her fighters draw the harvester's focus with a concentrated barrage of arrows and energy blasts, Liam darts low, sliding through coiling shadows and spiraling sparks. His hands shake as he sets the charge against the legs of the lead harvester and scrambles for cover. The harvesters converge, focus red optics too late. The explosion throws metal and sand in a storm of blue fire, shearing limbs and crumpling armor. 3/4 into the scene, the sudden breach stuns both sides. The Denarians do not waste the chance. Shara's voice rings out, "Forward!" And the defenders break from the last remaining barricade in a surging wave. Spears glint, pulse rifles blaze, and now the harvesters stumble, lines fracturing amid confusion. The taste of the possible electrifies every heart. Liam, bloodied but grinning, rises to join the charge, knowing the difference between defeat and survival might rest on a single reckless act and the courage to believe in each other. The storm of battle retreats, leaving behind a raw, smoke-choked hush over the Denarian camp. Alien sand is upturned in violent furrows, barricades reduced to scorched frames, and battered survivors move slowly under the bruised sky. Steam rises from searing wreckage, where harvester corpses lie tangled with scraps of Denarian banners and shattered Terran tech. The night is mottled with the glow of scattered blue fire, and the sharp scent of ozone lingers in the breathless air. Liam Hart stands at the heart of the battered circle, blood drying on his brow and a length of Denarian cloth wrapped at his side. All around, groups of Denarians tend their wounded, whispering in tones that blend awe and uncertainty. What had seemed impossible hours before, repelling the harvester onslaught, is now etched in every exhausted face. Some gaze at the sky in silent disbelief. Others cluster around Princess Shara as she confers urgently with the chieftain and trusted elders. The taste of victory is fragile. Shara, her armor battered and glowing with residual charge, strides to the center and signals for quiet. She addresses humans and Denarians alike, her voice ringing with both triumph and warning. The harvesters are defeated, but not destroyed, and this world's fate is not yet safe. Are they to retreat into the ruins, forever hunted and fractured, or risk forging a true alliance with the Terrans, trusting old strangers, embracing change, and a new uncertain future? Liam steps forward, meeting Shara's gaze. Around them, children, elders, warriors, those saved and those who saved form a circle. He raises the Denarian amulet, voice hoarse but unwavering as he speaks of a future beyond endurance. Building not just defenses but hope, crafting unity from loss. One by one, Denarians place relics and weapons at the fire's edge, ceremonial gestures of trust. The message ripples out. Reluctance and fear, yes, but also in the red-lit gloom, the first roots of possibility. As Shara clasps Liam's arm in solemn pact, the camp erupts in a chorus, mournful, half-mourning song, war cry, half-war cry. They have chosen more than survival. They have chosen the audacity of hope. Rooted beneath layers of ancient dunes, a hidden vault whispers promises of power and danger. After deciphering geometrically complex Denarian glyphs with Princess Shara's cautious guidance, Liam and his small band pry open the burial door, a slab of alloy veined with strange, pulsing light. The air exhales 1,000 years of tomb silence. A cool, metallic tang fills the chamber. Every echo bounces with secrets untold. Liam leads, flashlight cutting arcs through the gloom. In the flickering beams, massive pillars stretch floor to ceiling, engraved with kinetic mosaics that move, figures caught in centuries-old struggle, their motion hypnotic and disturbing. Alien tech hums below mirrored floors, sending pulses through boots and bones, hinting at vast energies stored deep within. At the heart of the vault stands an altar, encircled by crystalline data spires and memory helix projections, a map of the planet's veins, its strategic sites, its hidden terrors. Shara's hand hovers over the altar, trembling with awe and fear. Around them, the dark vibrates with the memory of those who failed. Burnt imprints of Denarian ancestors flicker in and out of visibility, silent witnesses to the vault's tests. 3/4 through the scene, as Liam draws near to the altar, its light responds. Symbols bloom along his bare skin, a code awakening to living touch. The chamber groans. Suddenly, a holographic apparition of the Vault Keeper spirals into being, part cybernetic sage, part wraith. Its voice is a storm in every mind. The vault is not just a cache, but a crucible. Only those who risk everything may receive its secret, the weapon and warning that could determine the fate of two worlds. In the shadow-lit core of the vault, time stutters and reality sharpens. Every breath a fraught negotiation. The Vault Keeper, half-spectral Denarian ancestor, half-luminous AI, hovers above the altar, its form refracting light in shards from a dozen impossible angles. Its voice splits and harmonizes, a storm in every mind, demanding proof. Fragments of memory, Liam's war-torn past, Shara's tremors of loss, are ripped into vision, spiraling as translucent illusions through the air. With every accusation, images leap. Planets burned, failed rebellions, betrayals. The Keeper's tests burn through shame, hope, and self-doubt. Shara, normally so composed, flinches as memories of her fallen kin rise. Images of parents lost in fire, the burden of a crown. Husks of her people's legacy crowd the vault. Failures, victories, the warning of what giving up hope costs. Liam's ordeal is unrelenting. Each step toward the altar is a struggle against both the Keeper's illusions and his own scars. When it demands sacrifice, would you trade everything for this world's salvation, even yourself? He staggers, choking on ancient dust and regret. Areas is starting in Massagee. He trues Herol's offices bad listen. He staggers. With Shara by his side, Liam steadies. They face the Vault Keeper together, uncertainty and conviction braided in their eyes. United they answer, not with hollow bravado, but with hard, harmonized truth, offering hope in the face of unbearable trial. The Keeper's judgment becomes a wave of light, testing the weight of two souls as the fate of worlds balances on the edge of a glowing, alien blade. The Vault Keeper's radiance dims, retreating into data spirals that coil up the walls, leaving the air thick with crackling possibility. In the center of the vault, a seamless expanse of alloy stirs. Suddenly it splits and rearranges, revealing the legendary resonance door. Its surface a living tapestry of light, even the smallest symbol pulsing with alien intelligence. It thrums in time with the explorers' hearts. Liam and Shara approach, step by uncertain step, each pulse of energy growing stronger as their combined presence is read by the door's sentient sensors. Etched patterns flow and rearrange in direct answer to the visitor's doubts, determination, and vulnerabilities. As Liam presses his palm to the illuminated glyph at its core, the door vibrates, casting holographic halos that cascade up the high chamber walls. Behind him, Shara closes her eyes. The sacred names of her people, a hopeful plea to spirits watching in silence. With an electric rush, the door interprets their combined essence. The chamber's humming grows almost unbearable as the door blossoms open, not with violence, but wondrous, breathless inevitability. All around, columns and data spires synchronize in a rising chorus, streaming memory and prophecy across the floor in rivers of light. The very air shimmers with the sense that the future, Denarian, Terran, and unknown, is being chosen in this moment. Quercare faces. The portal's threshold reveals a breathtaking treasury. Relics shrouded in force fields, weaponized hope, seeds of life, blueprints for salvation and rebirth. Not all will be safe to touch. Most are neither human nor Denarian. Together, the explorers cross that boundary, their faces alight with awe and the growing weight of destiny. The heart of the resonant sanctuary pulses with spectral energy. Liam and Shara descend to its core, a chamber shaped as a vast sphere, floating platforms and bridges looping through the air, each lit by radiant veins of power that web the cavernous space. The sanctum's ceiling is a swirling mural of planets and stars, the living history of Denarian civilization and the echo of every world they've touched or lost. The air smells of ozone and ancient roots, trembling with an electric anticipation as the explorers walk deeper. On pedestals, artifacts levitate, crystalline memory shards flashing with brief, lifelike visions, bioengineered seeds pulsing with contained, verdant possibility, weapon components built from alien logic dancing with potential and threat. All are bathed in cascading blue and emerald light. Every item reacts to the presence of Liam and Shara, shifting slightly, sending runs of data and color arcing through the radiant veins overhead, as if the core itself weighs and remembers each visitor. As they approach the very center, a lattice of force fields unlocks, revealing a single artifact, an orb of refracted light, at once impossibly dense and delicate. Hologlyphs spiral above it, flickering rapidly through languages both Denarian and Terran. The orb is both key and question. To wield its power is to bind destinies, shaping not just survival, but the story of generations to come. Shara's hand hovers near the orb. Liam stands beside her, sharing a silent promise. Outside, the planet trembles. The Harvester's arrival sends distant shockwaves rattling the sanctuary walls. Together, they reach out, the chamber's radiance intensifying, as legacy, faith, and the possibility for a new history wait for their answer. Above the resonance sanctuary, day bleeds into a charged twilight. The air on the surface quivers with the pressure of something vast and malignant. Denarian scouts rush between rocky outcrops, casting uneasy glances skyward as thin black clouds spiral into formation. Unnatural and foreboding, torn by streaks of cobalt lightning. Liam and Shara emerge from the ancient structure, faces grave, bearing the orb of the core. Their armor and robes glitter with activated sigils, ambient power still dancing around their hands. A great procession has gathered in the red dust. Denarian warriors adorned in ceremonial plate, elders clutching memory tablets, children peering wide-eyed from behind their guardians. Far off, across the plains, the silhouette of harvester ships flicker, titanic, angular things swallowing the horizon as they descend. The ground shakes intermittently beneath every footfall. Pulses deep below hint at seismic disruptions building as the invader's machinery activates. Shara leads the assembly to a high vantage. With a steady voice, she rallies her people, invoking the sanctuary's gifts and the ancient courage of her ancestors. Liam, flanking her, presents the orb, which responds by shimmering outward. A dome of iridescent energy radiates, enveloping the assembly in a visible shield. The orb's power melds Terran and Denarian technologies, a living testament to their alliance. As the scene intensifies, the harvester ships ignite their siege lights, bathing the dust clouds in acid yellow. Hordes of biomechanical constructs above, lightning lances between warships, and up into the roiling sky. The shield flickers, holding strong for now, the last fragile line between survival and extinction, as Denarian's song rises in defiance, echoing across the Scarlet Plain. Night engulfs the battlefield in shifting hues of violet and blood red. The protective dome cast by the resonance orb glows brighter, defying the endless barrage from the Harvester's siege cannons. Each strike crashes against the shield with thunderous fury, casting ripples of blinding energy over the heads of the Denarian defenders. Liam and Shara stand together at the forefront, illuminated by arcs of power, their silhouette projected onto the dome for all to see. Within the shield, Denarians and Terrans rush to reinforce defenses, some erecting barricades from the bones of ancient ruins, others guiding children and elders toward hidden vestibules below the sand. Warriors affix energy blades to their arms, their faces painted with ancestral marks, voices rising in a battle hymn that trembles with collective hope and ancestral rage. Shara's command is unwavering. Her every motion is echoed by dozens of loyal captains, marshaling their people for one last stand. Outside the shield, biomechanical legions close in, the ground vibrating with their relentless march. Siege lights flicker, casting grotesque shadows over dust-swirled crags. The lead Harvester's ship hovers menacingly, deploying a spire of swirling energy that claws at the shield, bending it with a persistent whine. From within the dome, Liam raises the orb high. The light swells, its resonance fusing Denarian song with Terran resolve, projecting unity and defiance to the farthest reaches of the battlefield. As the shield begins to falter, Shara and Liam lock eyes, shared destiny etched deep. Together, their combined courage and the energy of the Alliance surge outward, blending technology and spirit in a mighty eruption of light, ready to tip the battle's outcome and reshape the fate of two worlds. Thank you for joining us on Terran Tales for Scarlet Sands. What would you risk and what might you discover when fate leaves you stranded under alien moons? If you enjoyed this journey, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell to never miss a new episode of Terran Tales. Share your thoughts, theories, or your own tales of Terran triumph in the comments below. Until next time, keep your heart brave and your eyes on the horizon. The galaxy is waiting.